Hey everyone, I just want to let you know that if this video seems a little bit disjointed, it's because this is another one of my unscripted ramblings. The reason I don't have a camera for this one, like I normally do for all of my other unscripted ramblings, is, well, just because I really don't have the energy to turn the camera on and be entertaining. But this was something that's been sitting on my mind, and I really didn't write a script because I don't feel like it needs a script, mostly because generally speaking, by the time you're seeing this video, which is the Sunday after 2v8 has already left, there's been a lot of stuff with 2v8, a lot of things that I wanted to talk about, and the reason that this video is coming out so late, the reason it's coming out so far in advance, is because it doesn't need to be current to 2v8. But there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of things about 2v8 that I wanted to kind of break down and talk about, that just, it has been kind of bugging me within the community. So the very first thing that I want to say is that overall 2v8 seems like a fun time. I say seems like a fun time because I haven't really gotten to play it. Granted, I could be playing it, but there's a lot of reasons why I haven't, and the main reason is because of the queue times. Now, I did get to play Killer with my boy HexGG, and we had a lot of fun, him and I, and it was actually a really good time, especially with somebody on comms with you. But after that, I didn't play 2v8 again, except to do the tomes, and the only tomes that needed to be done were done on the Survivor side. Outside of that, I only played the 1v4 mode when it came to playing Killer. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, why? Why, if you wanted to play Killer and you were going to have to wait for exceedingly long queue times, which is something I'm going to talk about, the 1v4 exceedingly long queue times, then why didn't you just go play Killer in 2v8 so you could have gotten more experience in it? And the answer to that is because why would I play 2v8 and wait the exact same amount of time I would wait in 2v8 than I would wait in queue, get vastly less blood points, and not be able to dump whatever blood points I did get into killers, and also be extremely limited on my killers and my build variety and other things like that? If I wanted to play Survivor, then yeah, I could have jumped into 2v8, got the 400% blood point bonus. But the thing is that the Survivor side of 2v8 is really just not fun to me. It's all of the crap of solo queue multiplied by 2.5. Like, it's literally, it's so bizarre to be being chased by both killers. You're trying to duck and weave between Huntress hatchets and Wraiths uncloaking and Nurses blinking or whatever the fuck is going on, and you look at the HUD, and there's 7 people not doing shit. Nobody's healing, no one's doing gens, no one's unlocking chests, nothing. There's just 7 people crouched in a corner not doing shit. It is crazy how utterly crap solo queue is, that even with twice the amount of people, or like I said, 2.5 times the amount of people on your team, you are still dealing with the crap. And if the team is good, then the Survivor side just kind of feels almost blah. Looping's not as fun because there's twice as many pallets, and there's also, of course, twice as many killers. So for me, somebody who likes looping as being kind of a battle of the minds is what I consider looping to be. It doesn't feel that great when I have a billion resources to fuck the Trapper or the Wraith over, but then the moment I'm starting to screw them over a little bit too well, the other killer shows up and you just can't do anything. If you are a Survivor and both killers are on your ass, there is a very good chance you are going down no matter what. They will split up, they will sandwich you, and you will go down. Very, very rarely are you able to outrun 2 killers at the same time, and the only way you can do that is if they both fuck up heavily, and that's just a rare occurrence that doesn't happen. So I really don't like looping in this mode because a lot of the brain power that comes with looping, the battle of the minds, the mind games, the will I go left, will I go right, the, you know, how can I chain these together, you know, I have 1 pallet and maybe 2 windows, I need to see how long I can make this last, those kind of things, that's not available in this mode. But on the Killer side, one of the things that I don't like is that there's just a lack of variety, and this all comes with the fact that it's brand new, and I understand that. But the reason that this video is titled Why I Don't Want 2v8 Back is simply because the queue times for 1v4 and 2v8 are fucking atrocious. Now, a lot of people have put out there that the reason that this is because we just don't have the player base to support 2 different queues. And I would like to remind everyone that during Chaos Shuffle, we had perfectly fine queue times. both modes were doing absolutely fine. If you wanted to fun haha chaotic mode, you queued Chaos Shuffle. If you wanted to go and play the more serious, everybody's gen rushing quad slowdown mode, you went and played the normal mode. And in both of those scenarios, while the queue times did increase a bit, it went from like 2 minutes of queuing to like 3.5. It literally was not that big of a deal. But in this scenario, we are going up from 2.5 minutes to 15, 20, even half an hour. And it's gotten to the point where, as of recording this, I'm actually taking a break from Dead by Daylight until the fucking 2v8 goes away so that I can actually get a game. The other day, I queued into Dead by Daylight. I streamed for 4 hours straight, and I barely got like 12 games in because most of those 4 hours was spent sitting in queue. You can ask my chat. I wrote the entire Bubba script. The entirety of the Bubba analysis was written and completed while fucking sitting in queue. This includes doing the tier list. This includes reading the lore. This includes doing a whole bunch of other stuff, like all the research I did for Bubba. It was all done while sitting in queue, and chat was playing Words with Friends. It is so bad right now that I feel like I am wasting my time attempting to play the game. And it really sucks when you wait 15, 20 minutes for a game, and then it turns out to be a 4-stack BNP swivel socket hyper focus stakeout. 4 gens get done before you even find one person type of shit. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where if you wait that long and you get a shit game, then the game feels even worse. But it also just kind of drains my energy. I am the type of streamer that has to have something engaging with my brain, or not just streamer, the type of person. I have to have something consistently engaging with my brain, or else I am not able to do things. Like my whole brain, I don't know how to explain it, but basically if nothing is engaging me, my brain like shuts down. My energy levels like plummet and I can't get them back. So like even as I'm sitting here rambling about this, I have Wallpaper Engine, I have a live wallpaper going on in the background, and I'm watching the particles move so I can have something to engage my brain while I'm trying to talk to you about these things. And that's one of the biggest problems that I have with these long queue times, because long queue times negatively affect people like the average player, right? Because not everybody plays this for a job, not everybody does this for a living, not everybody has 6 or 7 hours to game every night. Most people on average have 1 to 2 hours to game, because then they have to go do homework or cook dinner for the kids or put the kids to bed or fuck their spouse or drink their life away, whatever the case may be. Whatever your duties are, whatever your obligations are, most people only have 1 to 2 hours to play, and getting 2 games in that time span is just not a good time. And so I'm not really happy with the queue times. I don't want 2v8 to come back until they figure out how they are going to improve the queue times, and I don't really know what they can do. I wish that I could give you guys a solution, but the reason I was saying there's this big misconception about how there's too many people, here is what's happening. I want to put this out there. Here is what is happening and why the queue times are so long. It is all because of the killer side within 2v8, right? Because because it is such a novelty, because it's something new for it's something new for the community, everybody is trying to play killer right now. And because everyone's trying to play killer, a big thing too is everybody is trying to play Huntress or Wraith. And Huntress and Wraith are the most common combo that you'll see in the game. But because everybody's trying to play Huntress, it's making the queue times even longer because you can't have duplicate killers. So it's got let's say you got like 80% of people queuing Huntress, or that's maybe pretty high. Let's say you've got 60% of people queuing Huntress, and then you've got like 25% of people queuing Wraith, which seems to be the spread. And then the other 15% are queuing miscellaneous killers. Because 60% of people are queuing Huntress, the game is having an even harder time finding games for those people, because they have to find somebody who's not fucking playing Huntress. Another issue is that survivors are not going to normally be playing the 1v4 mode, because why would they, when the survivor side in the 2v8 mode has a 400% blood point incentive? So if you're going to play survivor, you're probably playing 2v8. Very rarely are you going to play 1v4, because everybody wants to go get the big blood point bonuses so that they can, prestige their Sable to P100, because you're all playing Sable. Let's be honest with ourselves. So the 1v4 mode is suffering all because of the killer queues in 2v8, because survivors might as well go play where the blood point incentive is, and everybody, because there's only a limited number of killers, everybody wants to everybody's having a hard time finding a game. If they bring 2v8 back, I said earlier I don't really have a solution, but realistically speaking, here's my solution. If they bring 2v8 back, it needs to come back with the entire cast. And I am not kidding you here. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's too much at one time. That's going to hurt. It's going to be hard to balance. But if they don't come back with the entire killer cast, or at least over half of it. Let me throw you guys a bone. At least over half of it. If they don't come back with that, then these queue times are going to continue to be crap, and it's going to make people not want to play the game, which hurts the queue times even more. 2v8 is very obviously incredibly successful. We reached an all-time peak of players. I think it hit 100,000, didn't it? If it didn't hit 100,000, it almost hit 100,000. So it's obviously very good for the game, and I'm very happy that it is bringing something new, and I'm glad they're trying something new. But my biggest thing is that bringing this in with only the 5 original killers really actively destroyed queue times. And so many people think, oh, we don't have enough players, or not enough people are queuing Survivor or something like that. But that's not it. It is literally the limited number of killers that can be played. The fact that everybody wants to fucking play Huntress, because Huntress is one of the most popular killers in the entire game. So if you bring it back, then it needs to come back, and the killers that come back with it, if it's not the entire cast, need to be based off of pick rates. You need to bring in, and some people are going to hate this, and I know you are, but you need to bring in things like Skull Merchant, like Legion, like Pig, or something like that. You need to bring in killers that are popular to play. Is Pig popular to play? I don't know. But the point is that you need to look at the pick rates, and you need to say, okay, all the killers that are really popular to play, we need to bring them into this mode, because otherwise people are just going to keep queuing up Huntress. And because of that, there's going to be harder to get a killer game, and because it's harder to get a killer game, it's harder to get Survivor games. It's because it's harder to get Survivor games, it's harder in the 1v4. It's basically a domino effect. The limited number of killers plus the novelty has led to a domino effect that has completely and utterly destroyed the queue times of the game. And I mentioned this back in another video way back when, but queue times can make or break a game's life cycle. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they went to play Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and they waited almost, I think, like an hour in queue or something like that, and they got one game, and then as soon as they got that game, somebody in the lobby left, which made it take even longer. And they just turned it off. They turned it off at that point, because why wouldn't they? And that happened to me as well, where I waited like 25 minutes for a game, and 2 gens popped before I even found one person. Which is insane, by the way. 2 gens popped before I even found one person, and as soon as I went to rush that person, I was on Blight. As soon as I went to rush that person, I ran into tile desync and got robbed of a down. And then as I was getting frustrated with that, another gen popped. So it's just literally like, I was so frustrated from the queue times, plus the game fucking me over, that I just insta-DC'd and left, because I was like, bro, like, what am I gonna do with this? You know what I mean? Like, how am I going to deal with this? What am I gonna do with this? It is literally one of those things where I truly and honestly feel like if they're gonna bring this back, it needs to come back with massive improvements to the killer side in terms of variety, so that we can fix this queue time problem. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm sorry I rambled on for so long. I just didn't feel like writing a script based on this. But yeah, that's my problems with 2v8. I do think the mode has a lot of potential. I do think it's really good. But hey, let me know what you think down below. Did you enjoy it while it was here, while it lasted? And as always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Need more Kaiser in your life? Well, I've got you covered. Check out my second channel, The Kaiser Extras, where I upload full gameplays, stream compilations, me reacting to your Dead by Daylight clips, and more. We also upload a daily short with all the greatest clips from stream. We'll see you over there. Link is in the description.